coming up in this video. Mystery, suspense, intrigue. Some online videos go viral for all the right reasons. These are 30 scary videos that almost broke the internet. Number 30. Woman carries lion. Reported by the Daily Mail, a woman was captured on film carrying an enormous lion by the underarms down a street in Kuwait. The woman is seen hauling the lion, who is trying to get free the whole time. She walks briskly down the road while struggling with the lion, who lashes out at the air with all four paws, growling. Finally, the woman gives up and drops the big cat on the ground for a moment, likely to catch her breath. As it turns out, the young lion is reportedly this woman's escaped pet. The authorities were called to help contain the animal after it was seen prowling the streets at night. According to the Daily Mail, although keeping exotic animals as pets is against the law in Kuwait, doing so has become popular in many Gulf Coast countries, as the animals are seen as status symbols. Status symbol or not, I think this big cat clearly doesn't want to be held. I feel like this can only end badly. Number 29. House of Horrors. I know I've analyzed plenty of haunted houses, but there is nothing paranormal about this house, and yet it is 10 times more terrifying. Published by CBS Los Angeles in November of 2021, this newly released body cam footage shows a nightmare walkthrough of the Turpin house in Paris, California. Let me give you a short recap of the Turpin case from 2018. Having spent her life locked inside by her parents, then 17-year-old Jordan Turpin snuck out of her home in the middle of the night and called the police. As shown on the police officer's body cam footage, she is seen explaining to police that two of her sisters are chained to their beds.
Because my two little sisters, they're chained up right now. And they...
Do you have pictures of that?
Yes, I can show you.
Jordan goes on to show the deputies pictures of her sisters. In these images, you could see them chained up and appearing frail.
After leading them to her house, where Jordan said she and her 12 brothers and sisters, aged 2 to 29, were being held captive, her parents were detained. The police found the home covered in trash, rotting food, garbage, and hazardous materials. They found chains in the closet.
Alright, let's just go ahead and detain the parents.
This video shows the moment when they found the chains inside the closet of the kid's bedroom. At one point, they even find one of the Turpin boys in chains in bed.
They also found at least one captive shackled to the bed, while others were in rough shape. The Turpin parents pleaded guilty on 14 counts and were sentenced to life behind bars, all thanks to the courage that Jordan found within herself to escape. Number 28. Hairdryer set ablaze. The following video was filmed in what looks to be some sort of building or home located in Vietnam, and was filmed on a home surveillance camera. In the footage, we watch as a woman can be seen sleeping on a small bed, while two kids can be seen playing around on a couch in the other corner. But then it becomes clear that something very, very wrong is about to happen, as suddenly flames appear atop the hairdryer that was left plugged in and resting atop a vanity, causing a man in the far side of the room to lunge into action. Luckily, the man is able to put out the flames and deals with the whole situation in an impressively calm and relaxed demeanor, despite how serious the situation could have been had he not acted the way he did. Thankfully, everybody that was in the room at the time of the recording were able to make it out of the building perfectly fine, albeit they definitely won't ever look at a hairdryer the same way again. Number 27. Stalker attempt averted. This terrifying video shows an alleged stalker following this child, but don't worry, she is smarter than he is. published by RT in January of 2020. The security footage was captured near Moscow in a city called Stupino. A child is seen walking home from school while a suspicious man trails behind her. You can see the girl struggle to unlock the door of her building while the man slows, holding back for a bit until she heads inside. Then he hurries towards the door to grab it before it closes. Once inside, the girl notices she's being followed. She walks up the steps and then hesitates as she enters the hallway toward the elevators. She turns around instead toward the mailboxes, forcing the man to pretend like he's catching the elevator. While he's play acting and pretending to give her no notice, the girl hurries back outside. The man soon gives up on the elevator and follows. The girl is out of sight by the time the suspect arrives outside and happens to meet her dad, who thankfully was nearby. She can be seen walking beside him while the suspect exits and hurries down the stairs. When the father and daughter re-enter the building, it appears that she's explaining to him what just happened. According to Russia Today, the parents of the girl went to the police and the suspect was detained. However, it appears the suspect was never charged. While that is frightening to hear, it is still a relief that this child got away safely. She made the right decision that day, and that is to trust your gut. Number 26, Angry Stingray. Taunt a stingray and you'll get stung. Published by Mel Free in June of 2014, this scary video shows a man wading in water up to his waist on the Gold Coast of Australia as a large stingray circles him. When the stingray approaches, the man pounces, trying to catch him, but the ray swims away again. The man is laughing at his antics when a woman off-screen warns that the ray is circling back. It comes up alongside him for the sting, nearly getting him. The man dives out of the way just in time. While this looks like a close call, is it truly what it seems? At least one YouTuber, Animal Wire, outlines why he thinks this is a kite's shadow rather than actual wildlife in the water. Amongst his observations are the stingray's aggressive behavior, which is uncommon for the species, the lack of wake from the animal on the water's surface, as well as the lack of flapping wings that the stingray uses to propel forward. So do you agree with Animal Wire? Is it a kite? Or is this truly rare footage of a stingray sting? This one's definitely got me on the fence. Number 25, What's in the Closet? Neighbors were hearing and seeing strange things at this abandoned house, so they asked this man to investigate. Little did they know the reality might be even worse than it seemed. Posted on the r/Chills Narrator subreddit by Hunting the Haunted. In the short clip, the cameraman is doing a walkthrough of the abandoned building. The rooms are empty and the windows are boarded up. A strange sound is heard coming from somewhere in the distance. Like a roaring or a squawking sound. The man enters further into the room and turns toward this side closet space. That's when something suspicious appears. There's a body-shaped garbage bag lying on the ground. The cameraman notes he didn't notice it in the moment, and later a viewer pointed it out to him. Did he encounter an individual who had their life taken without even knowing it? As much as I don't think he should go back there, I really gotta know what's in that bag. Number 24, Lightning Shadow. This shadow moves like a bolt of lightning. Posted to TikTok by Oops You're It. A man is live streaming on video when something unusual happens in the background. The man is singing to his audience. Suddenly, a stark shadow figure rushes past from behind him. The man's singing doesn't speed or slow, but the figure shoots past like lightning. The mysterious figure also has no defining features. it is just one dark shadow. Is it a demon, as someone suggested in the comments? If not, what could this be? Number 23, creepy figure in the window. Don't you hate it when an unwanted guest shows up to the party? Featured by the bottom line, this scary video has been trending in the Hindi-speaking YouTube community. Originally published by Mysterii Danaya, the video shows a gathering of people inside a home. Everyone is sitting around the room enjoying each other's company, but as the camera pans around, an uninvited guest appears, and he's too creepy for words. Watch closely. What is this mysterious figure lurking in the window? With its gaunt, elongated features and bulging eyes, it looks like a cross between a terrifying ghoul and an extraterrestrial. What is this ghoulish guest? I'm not sure. But either way, don't let him in. Number 22, dentist ghost. If you weren't afraid of the dentist's office before, this TikTok will do the trick. Posted by MAIEPA, this clip shows a young woman being prepped by a dentist. Nothing unusual so far, but as the patient lies in the dental chair, waiting, watch what happens in the background. With the dentist out of the room, a drawer opens on its own. The dentist returns and closes the drawer unconcerned. Later, as the patient is lying again in the chair, a shadow appears in the window to the left, looking as though it's walking through the hallway outside. Is this just the reflection of the dentist, who appears on the opposite side of the room? It doesn't seem to be walking apace with the dentist. And wouldn't her reflection be obstructed by the overhanging dental light? Later, the dentist continues her work, but behind her, the ghost is still at play. The faucet of the sink turns slowly to the right. Is this ghost a former disgruntled patient, playing petty tricks, or just someone playing around? Either way, it seems to me that this dentist's office is haunted. Number 21, the shadow follows. You can run, but you can't hide. Posted to TikTok by the King Horror. This scary clip shows a man being stalked by a shadow. The man is seen setting up a camera in the hallway. Its light is shining toward an open door at the end of the corridor. The man walks toward the door and turns to go up the stairs. That's when a shadow figure appears at the bottom of the stairwell and ascends after him. You can even see the shadow reflected in a mirror in the hallway. After the shadow disappears, a closet door in the downstairs hallway opens and shuts partway but stands ajar. A close-up of the open doorway shows another mysterious dark figure hiding within, its face barely visible. Is this ghoul producing shadows in a secret shadow factory in the closet? Or is he just here to break the internet? Number 20, strobe light in the sky. Is this ball lightning or something else? Published by Weird in the Bizarro News in August of 2021. This mysterious light anomaly was captured by a resident on the east coast of the US. The purple light looks like a disco ball and strobe lights going nuts. There's a nucleus at the center with light radiating from it and sporadically flashing. After flaring up for a long while, the light completely vanishes without a trace. Is there an explanation? The uploader writes, if you're thinking ball lightning, notice there is not a cloud in the sky because you can see the stars behind the lights. At least one commenter thinks it's a reflection, but we really don't have any real leads here. What do you think it is? All I know for sure is that whatever it is, it's certainly mysterious. Number 19, restaurant ghost. Working alone in a restaurant at night often provokes an unsettling feeling, but when something like this happens, you may not go back to work again. Published by AJ Soman in November of 2015, this scary security footage was captured around midnight in October of the same year. The clip shows the man sweeping up on a lower level of the restaurant. A chair near the bar suddenly slides to the side very quickly, alarming the man. He stops sweeping and looks at it for a moment, but then goes back to work, probably thinking he's imagining things. But then a moment later, the same bar stool slides even further across the room out of frame. The worker goes to check it out and isn't seen again. Did the man ever return? Or was he lured into the restaurant dungeon by this demon poltergeist? Number 18, Shadow in the Window. This footage from a creepy abandoned farmhouse is next level. Published by Sinister RP in April of 2021. Everything was left behind in this haunted farmhouse, including the shadows. At one point in the video, the pair of investigators are trying to capture the creepy aura in one of the rooms in the home.
Now, since I got two cameras going, guys, I will be going back and forth and edit there. Okay? I was gonna say, I just stepped on something there.
But they don't even see the aura right in front of them. A shadow figure appears in front of the window, backlit by the light from outside. The creepy figure appears for only a moment before disintegrating right before our very eyes. What is this horror? Is this thing responsible for the homeowners leaving in such a hurry? My guess is yes. Number 17, Help Me. If you hear whisperings on a baby monitor, it's probably time to yeet that thing into the sky. Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit. Disastrous Moose 8090 explains that his wife was staying at her mom's house in England when the camera kept going off, sending notifications to his wife's phone. But when she'd look at the footage, there'd be nothing. However, after being sent this particular video clip, the Redditor looked a little closer. He writes, I'm not so sure why, but a few days later I played the video clip again and turned the sound on my phone. I was a bit shocked because I heard a voice at the beginning and then a musical type tune at the end. The monitor's footage also shows a strange darkness falling over the room, followed immediately by a voice whispering what sounds like "Help me." Is someone trapped in this room? If not, who or what is tapping into this baby monitor? Number 16, Girl in the Swing. Do you need a friend? This ghost girl needs one too. Published in September of 2021, this scary video shows a swing mysteriously swaying in the middle of the night on an empty playground. There's no one in the swing. The cameraman walks toward it to get a closer look. The swing keeps swaying and the cameraman grabs onto the metal ropes to stop it. In doing so, the camera pulls upward. The swing is now still. Panning up and down again, the swing is still empty. After looking up once more, the next time the camera pans down to the swing, this is what it captures. A young girl is sitting in the swing. The woman screams in fear and drops the camera, backing away. Say what you want, but I think this move is understandable. I doubt this ghost just wanted to play. Number 15, Dragged. This paranormal investigator just got dragged, literally. Published by Paranormal My in January of 2022. A man is in what appears to be a dilapidated building. The scary clip shows him looking around the place, down one empty hallway and another. But then suddenly something grabs hold of him, something we cannot see. All I can see is the cameraman's feet dragging below him. He is pulled into another room before he can get his feet back under him. In another clip, likely filmed from outside the building he was just in, A black cloaked figure is captured on camera hiding behind some trees next to him. Was this the thing that got hold of him? Or is it just one of the many demons on site? Number 14, sky flares. In 2011, these strange lights were captured flying over Naas in County Kildare, Ireland. Published by RTE Radio 1 in October, the footage captures several small pinpricks of light in the clouds with smoke trailing behind them. There appears to be 7 or more lights in frame. They drift slowly over a field and don't disappear. What are they? Some in the comments think they might be flares from a military exercise. Others suggest debris from a meteor burning up in Earth's atmosphere. But some think they might be something out of this world. What's your theory? Now we wait, because if these lights appear again, we may be able to get more answers. Number 13, ring ghost. When one door closes, another window opens. Published in July of 2020, this ghost is letting a draft in. While watching the security footage, pay attention to the window of the door. A woman opens the door and is talking to her dog who is outside. She goes to pick him up, and when she does, the window of the door slowly rises open. Though she shuts the door, the window continues to open. You can see it opening from the side. When the woman notices, she goes to ask Mike if he opened the window of the door. Of course, Mike didn't. A ghost did. Number 12, open the gate. Is this ghost strolling in through the wrong pearly gates? Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit. Who Nobody explains that this security footage is from his work at a small pet supply store in Santiago, Chile. The footage shows a very heavy gate suddenly sliding open on its own with complete ease. No one is around. The Redditor offers more information, writing, "The administration didn't believe us when we told them until they checked the security cameras. The fence is heavy, it's not electric, and as you can see in the trees, there is no wind." While Redditor Drivability 2020 thinks the culprit is a cockroach on performance enhancers, others think it could be someone with an invisibility cloak. User Eric Son of Bruce suggests some more logical theory. If the gate is located over a subway line, perhaps the train's vibrations triggered its movement, whether the culprit is natural or supernatural. It looks like they're gonna need a stronger gate. Number 11, phantom figure. While traveling down a road near an old graveyard at night, expect to encounter those who reside there. Published by Scary and Mysterious Stuff in January of 2021, the scary footage shows this driver rounding the stone wall of a graveyard along a dirt road when he spots this mysterious white-cloaked figure. Seeing the scary figure from far away, it stands immobile in the center of the road. You might first assume it's a statue, but as the car approaches, the figure turns, its robe fluttering as it strides slowly towards the surrounding forest. The driver starts backing up in a panic, drops his camera for a second, and when he looks back up, the ghostly figure is gone. Where is this phantom headed? And from where did he come? I guess we'll never know for sure. Number 10, cat ghost. As we all know, animals sense the things we cannot see. Posted to the r/paranormal encounters subreddit. Little Machiavelli writes, "My sister's cat yells every night, and tonight she caught this orb on video. What do you guys think?" At the start of the video, the cat is hanging around near the closet, looking upwards and yowling. The cat does this for a while and then turns its head. That's when an orb floats from right at his line of vision upwards to the left and out of frame. While many in the comments think it's only floating dust, Redditor Greybush the Wise is a believer. Noting that it appears to exit the closet, he writes, "Something seems off with the depth. Dust maybe, but I don't think so. Think this one may be real. What do you think?" I'm agreeing with the Wise Greybush on this one. dust? Or is it an orb spirit that only animals vibe with? Number 9. Abandoned mansion. Strange things are happening inside this abandoned mansion. Published by Scared to Death Zero in December of 2021. This crew is exploring an abandoned hall when they realize they are not alone. They appear to be in a living room area. There are chairs and tables scattered about, a ceiling fan sitting atop one of the tables. As they're looking around, something heavy and metal comes falling to the ground in another room.
What was that?
This causes the crew to panic a little, backing out from the room. While the cameraman stays behind, one of the crew heads into the room to have a look. What did he find? As the video ends right there, I guess we won't know for now, but my guess is it wasn't anything good.
What was that?
Number 8. Locked up forever. An evil grandmother spirit trapped inside a doll. Not your typical horror movie. Published in December of 2021. Chriselle Luna explains, the owners of this house abandoned a doll that they believe possesses the spirit of the family's grandmother, of whom they are afraid. Here is that doll.
Ay, no. Está rota la muñeca.
The terrifying doll looks as though it's had its face smashed in. Despite finding it this way, Chriselle remains on the property and is at one point wandering down a hallway when through a crack in the door, someone appears to be on the other side.
Cosas.
But as she moves toward it, it looks like the figure flees. Later, the distinct sound of a door closing rings through the empty home.
Voy a continuar, voy a ir hacia... ¡Ay! ¡Ay! ¡Ay, se movió algo! ¡Ay!
The same thing happens again, scaring Chriselle as she hurries down the hallway toward the shutting door. Is the evil granny taunting Chriselle? Or is there something else going on in this haunted house? Number 7. Resident poltergeist. Poor Lainey and Ben, the poltergeist is at it again. I know I've spoken about their haunted home more than once, but these clips emphasize just how active their haunted house's resident poltergeist, David, really is. The clip starts with an aggressive pounding and rattling on the door. When Ben rushes over to open it, nothing is behind it. An ornament jumps from their Christmas tree.
Oh my god, another one!
Apparently not the only ornament to do so. A door that's hanging open slams shut, ceasing their laughter.
It took my breath away. I've said it before.
An exercise ball rolls through a room in the darkness, clearly not of its own accord, but being pushed by something. One commenter, Belinda Meadows, advises Lainey and Ben to be careful writing. The more attention you give this thing, the more power it's gonna acquire. Is Belinda right? And if so, what will David the poltergeist do with that power? Number 6. Haunted Cathedral. This cathedral is a scare fest. Published by Ricky Velasquez in October of 2021, this paranormal investigator live streamed his exploration of a haunted cathedral. Upon entering, he sees this mysterious image on the wall. It looks like a man passed out in pain being held up by another man. Even stranger, it appears as though it's illuminated, like a projection. Later, while outside, something is captured moving in the darkness. It's unclear if there's something actually there, or if there's a glitch in the video quality.
Imagínense todo esto.
Something's going on at this cathedral, and I'm sure it's not anything holy. Number 5. Operating room ghost. Can you imagine being so hardworking that you continue on in your job even after passing on? Published by Augustine TR in November of 2018. This operating room ghost is still at work. A man witnesses the ghost's due diligence in the dark operating room of a haunted hospital. In Mexico City, a medical tray on wheels is captured moving on its own.
No mames.
It rolls slowly across the floor, coming to a rest at the foot of a hospital bed. The man looks around the room and walks toward the tray. There are no strings attached. Did this phantom physician never leave his line of duty? Now that's what I call dedication. Number 4, Serpentine Cemetery. A live investigation at Serpentine Cemetery captured something on camera that I cannot explain. Published by Ethereal Sisters Paranormal in January of 2022. These investigators encountered just what they were looking for. After speaking with the spirits through a spirit box, the women head toward the exit. That's when this blue-white figure appears to walk right through them. Is this one of the spirits the investigators were communicating with? If so, what is it trying to tell them? I definitely think this place is haunted. Number 3, causing panic. A streak of light strikes in the sky. Now is the time for panic. Published by the Tribune in December of 2021. A series of lights that appeared over a city in India almost broke the internet. The lights were spotted in the sky at around 7 p.m. and remained there for 5 minutes, after which they vanished. The line of lights was witnessed by many in the comments from all over the country. Others from America are saying they saw something similar on a different date. Some of the witnesses say it looked like a train in the sky. Others say it is obviously extraterrestrial. Does this have something to do with SpaceX? Is it just a mysterious satellite? What do you think? I think this won't be the last time we see these lights, and maybe next time we'll get more answers. Number 2, abandoned estate. Dennis takes viewers inside this creepy abandoned estate, and things get turned upside down. Published by Dark Ghost Paranormal in October of 2021. The estate is different than a lot of places the channel has explored. It is enormous and is said to be haunted by the ghost of Sophia, who walks the estate after midnight. As Dennis is searching for signs of her presence, his EMF meter goes off, and an illuminated semi-transparent figure flies through the air in the next room. Later, as he's carefully making his way down the broken steps of the estate, and wandering around in the darkness, he either drops his camera out of fear or something knocks it out of his hand. He sits there in fear, unsure of what presence is near him. Is it Sophia? Of course. And she'd like to kindly ask you to leave. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1, Night Fright. This chilling footage is going to keep you up at night. Published in October of 2008, Tommy TLAG explains that this footage was captured by a friend one night after she heard repeated noises in her bedroom. This is what she found on her security camera. As she is sleeping in bed, there is movement to the left of the bed. A small figure is disturbing the blanket repeatedly. It then appears to jump onto the bed, nearly onto the sleeping girl. When it does so, this time you can see it has limbs and almost looks like a monkey. It leaps forward and then slides back in one fluid movement, but as it turns out it didn't leave. 2 minutes pass before the creature is seen jumping off the bed. The uploader writes that the girl was awake the entire time but felt nothing, while some in the comments are saying the mysterious creature could be a dog or a cat. Most agree it looks nothing like either, and that its moves are creepy. Besides, apparently the girl had no pets at the time. What is this nighttime fright? And would you be able to get back to sleep in this room after seeing this? Coming up in this video. Do you need a good night's sleep? Then find something else to watch, because these 30 scary videos will wake you up tonight.